Folks, we're back with Let's Talk Antiques this morning, and I'm telling you what, everybody looks like they antiques. I mean, getting ready to talk some antiques.
Well, I think we're all becoming antiques, right?
There you go.
Well, every day.
Yeah.
You know, every day you're getting...
Sliding a little further that way.
Well, you know, I told somebody, you think about this. I'll be 68 here in April. So basically, I went through 67 Thanksgivings, 67 Christmases. That really ain't that much.
No.
You don't realize it till you get older.
Yeah.
How fast
It don't
has
sound
been.
like a lot when you say just almost 7 decades.
Yeah, it don't.
Philip's got something really interesting here.
Yeah. So I hope everybody got to watch the.
Well, before you get started on that, I want to talk to one of the other producers.
All right.
I'm concerned about him because, you know, we're going to move over to 9 o'clock pretty soon, right?
Having a lot of trouble with 10.
Yeah, 10 bothers him.
Yeah.
So what are we going to do at 9? Are you just going to sleep over here and be here? Just sleep over?
Yeah.
Oh, you can do it remotely.
No, he could sleep over. He needs to have a sleepover here at the station. You want us to come sleep over with you? We can have a little party and
Pajamas?
cake and all that stuff.
Yeah, back here in the
Cookies
back room.
and
You got cinnamon rolls and stuff
Yeah.
for breakfast. There you go.
Overdoing it now.
watch videos.
Yeah, that's what.
Well, wait a minute, though. If we do all that, sure enough, he might not be awake the next morning. Better just let him sleep over by himself.
Especially if all of us get
That's
together.
where the cinnamon rolls come in.
There you go. Exactly.
Okay, so something really interesting happened yesterday.
Yeah.
And, you know, eventually it's going to be that we can talk about it, how much does some of that stuff sold for. You
True.
know?
True. So yesterday, SpaceX, the rocket company owned by Elon Musk, he's also the guy who owns Tesla electric cars, and he's also the guy who started PayPal, which he started in order to fund what he wanted to do in the future, which was make electric cars and send rockets to Mars.
Well, I think he's done well.
And he also has most of the biggest solar power company.
Yeah. that's
Oh, yeah, he does.
he's got-
Yeah, you
he's
told me
got really big
eventually
solar
that we'd be able to afford solar power.
Yeah, well, you can. It's getting economical now.
Yeah.
They've got batteries that'll run a whole house.
Yeah,
He's
that's
working on it. Yeah.
Yeah,
You can,
this guy's aggressive, isn't he? How old is he?
he's not that old. He's in his early 50s, I think.
Probably not.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the rocket.
Okay, so yesterday they did a test launch of their Falcon Heavy, which is the largest rocket the largest rocket in existence right now. It's twice as big as the nearest payload carrying rocket, and it is the only thing that we've ever launched that was more powerful than that was the Apollo rocket series. You know, that
The Saturn
took us
V.
Saturn V's that took us to the moon.
How many tons did they say that it would haul? I was thinking 17. Is that figure right?
It says, it says
17
it can
tons?
64 metric tons into low Earth orbit.
I don't know where I come up with that 17 tons.
I don't know.
Well, that's as far as we're going anyway right now, is
Yeah.
low Earth orbit.
Yeah, well, no, this one's going out.
Except the probes. Yeah.
So since this was a test, this was the first time that they've launched it, and the company's been resupplying the International Space Station for 2 years now, and they have these rockets called the Falcon rocket, and this rocket has 3 of those Falcon rockets strapped together, and has a payload on the top of it, and so since it was a test launch, you couldn't put anything valuable in it, or sell that payload, because there was a decent chance of it blowing up on
But
the
he
pad.
did put something in it, didn't
He did. He put his own Tesla Roadster electric car with a spaceman in
In a real space suit.
in a
Isn't that
spacesuit on it. In it.
I would have volunteered Adam, what's his name, Schiff?
William Shatner?
No, the one that's head of the Democrats.
Oh, I don't.
You would have put him in there in the suit?
I'd put him
Put
right
him
in the
in
middle of it.
We were saying that's probably the fastest car around now.
Yeah, that's what we've. So it was a successful launch, and they recovered the one of the really cool things about these rockets is that the booster rockets come back down and land at Cape Canaveral, and right where they took off from, and it's amazing. They land vertically, and
before they just wasted them, didn't they?
right, and so they can reuse them. And 2 out of these 3 that were used in the launch yesterday were reused rockets that have been gone before.
And he even lands them on the ocean. Now, you know that's hard.
Now the third one,
these actually landed right back on the pad.
well, 2 of 3 did.
I mean, he lands them on a barge. On the
Right.
ocean.
The center one,
That's amazing.
Yeah.
it stays with the rocket for until the second second stage comes in, and so it's way over the ocean by the time it drops. So the third one, the center one, is supposed to land in the ocean, and it said
Is that the one that lands on the barge?
yeah, but it missed the barge and hit the water at 300 miles an hour. So that was
So it wasn't much left of that.
that was the only real problem of the launch yesterday. But
That's secondary.
hitting a barge is a lot harder.
I wonder how far it missed
Extremely
it.
hard.
I wonder how far
target
it
on the
missed it.
ground.
Do you know?
I think it was about I think it was 100 meters.
Well, golly.
That's not much.
No.
So, but it was going at 300 miles an hour, so there was something went
I
wrong.
mean, he's been bullseyeing this barge.
They've landed a couple, but the ocean barge landings are a lot harder because of wind and waves, and plus they move. I mean, it's out on the ocean.
They had to do those before they would let them land them put
But
on
there's some
land.
dead
Yeah.
fish come to the
Prove the
top.
technology.
Well, and then there's videos online of them landing. They actually put out the videos of their landings that don't work.
Yeah,
And like it'll
I
come
saw
down and
them.
land, and one leg will be not secured right, and it falls over. And when it falls over, they all explode.
Don't tell how many
they
dollars
don't
worth
fall
of repairs
over.
he's made
they
on
just,
that
They
barge.
just blow up. Yeah, it's pretty dramatic. So anyway, so he put his car on the front of that, and right now the car is. I believe the car by now has left Earth's orbit and is heading toward Mars. And it's going to. Originally, it was going to orbit Mars, but they decided that they weren't going to worry about that much of it because they had enough to deal with the launch.
Right.
And so the car is just going to enter into orbit around the sun, in between the Earth and Mars.
Now, he
And,
has a rocket that's even bigger than that in the works.
right, and that's the BFR is what it's called right now, but they haven't come up with its actual name.
Right.
Hey, so if you want a SpaceX T-shirt that he signed, the Elon Musk, you could have bought that on eBay for $305.
Really,
Is that all?
that seems like a pretty good investment at this stage of the game.
Well, here's another one. This is a Fred Perry X Space Invader shirt. I don't know if that ain't no SpaceX.
It's a little different.
See, that's
Okay, here is the low Earth orbit. It'll lift 140,000 pounds to low Earth orbit, and
that's 70 tons then, right?
yeah, and to get
Not
out
17
of that,
tons, 70 tons. That's
70,
a big
yeah.
difference.
And I think 17 tons might be what you can get out of, like to low Earth orbit is where you release
Yeah.
satellites, and beyond that is like going to the moon and things like that.
So keep going.
So that's
So what's all those different pictures of the rockets there?
That's comparing it to the space shuttle, where the Falcon Heavy will take 63,000 kilograms. Oh, I'll go by pounds. 140,000 pounds. The shuttle would lift 53,000 pounds.
Yeah.
The Proton M would do 50,000 pounds. The Delta Heavy would be 50,000 pounds. The Titan IV, 47,000. So it's almost 3 times of what most things will take.
It's huge, really.
It is.
In
It's a
strength.
really-
It's got some power.
It's a
hasn't it?
monster rocket. The launch was really impressive. I enjoyed watching it. And right now you can go to YouTube and see video streaming of his car with the spacesuit mannequined inside of it. It's really, really cool. The shots are, you can see the Earth in the background, and it's just really cool. It's nice to know that we can do stuff like that. He's got an intention to put a base on the moon and use that base in order to
launch
That's
from
a
there.
jumping point
to get
for
us to
Mars.
Mars. Yeah.
Well, I mean, ain't that basically how we did America? You know, if you
That's
think
true.
about it, we went and established colonies at islands, and then worked from that island, and made regular routes.
Sure.
So we're basically doing
It's
the
a
same.
little, yeah. I dare say it's a little more forgiving though when you're on the ocean.
Well, didn't he
when
say
you're in
something
space.
about
Yeah.
he didn't want the Russians happen to be able to furnish us a rocket to take us to the shuttle and stuff?
Right.
Yeah, that's a good point, and you know
Well, I mean,
and NASA
why
has
should- why
NASA
should
doesn't
we pay
fly.
that kind
but
of
why
money?
should we?
Yeah.
There's no.
I tell you what,
There's no good reason.
leave it to private business to solve it and get it cheaper, better. They just can do it. The private business can do it a whole lot better, whole lot more price wise, a lot cheaper.
He just reminds me of a modern day Howard Hughes.
That's it.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. So I did a couple of searches here too.
So what'd you find?
I've got a
What's that?
Elon Musk signed
Yeah.
Tesla Roadster
Photo.
8x10 photo with certificate of authenticity.
It's JSA.
And they were asking $2,800. We don't have a. Well, they got more than 650. That's all I
Yeah.
got on that. Here's a official SpaceX Falcon 9 ocean landing mission patch. This was from an employee of SpaceX. There were 31 bids on it for $643.
Yeah, it don't look like it's that big.
Well, it's got a ruler.
Is it like 4 inches wide?
4 inches wide? Yeah, it's kind of triangular, and it's showing one of those booster rockets
There's not that
landing.
many of them out there. It'd be good to have.
What about that? What's that next piece?
Here's a SpaceX commemorative coin, authentic. It's from a mission they did. It's an employee gift, I guess, and the case is 4 inches wide. There were 17 bids on that. It went for $455. Let's see what the picture is of it.
Don't show a picture
They
of
have
the
to
coin.
show an actual picture of the coin, don't they? I mean,
Well, do it right
here
there.
we go. All right,
One of those.
let's uncover it. Yeah, it won't let me zoom in. So it's a.
We will be.
It says Falcon 9 Dragon on it. There we go. And so it
that's
first
the Dragon
commercial
capsule.
spaceship.
That's the one that resupplies.
Can't really. Yeah. So that was. I
Space
think that's a
station.
commemorative of the first time they resupplied the ISS space station. So that's pretty cool.
What else you got there?
We got SpaceX Falcon Heavy. Closest. These were the viewing tickets for the launch
you could sit
yesterday.
to watch the launch.
There were 4 tickets for $428. Was that? That's
You know, I
sold
tell you
on-
what. Now, see, that man knows what he's doing. He's generating income every way you can turn around.
Well, I don't know if he was. See, he doesn't own Cape Canaveral, so
No.
that was
But he leases
Cape
the
Canaveral
launch site.
or Kennedy.
Yeah, he
leases
does
that
lease the
launch
launch
site.
site, so I bet he did sell the
I
ticket.
don't know, but you can't get too close to it. That could be just designated areas.
You reckon?
I don't know.
Well, who sold the tickets?
Yeah, I don't know.
Huh?
There's a big.
Somebody sold the tickets there, Philip.
True. The viewing. It says it's
there are
at.
bleachers.
It says this is at Kennedy Space Center.
Yeah.
So these are for
So
what
the
is
Kennedy
called the
Space
closest
Center?
package.
Yeah.
The north lawn of Space Shuttle Atlantis, 7.5 miles away from the launch.
2-day admission. Buffet dining.
There
Wow.
you go.
What else it say?
Commemorative item for the
Souvenirs.
launch. Digital photo on the day of the launch. Vehicle placard required for visitor
All right,
complex
listen,
parking.
we got 1 minute. You've talked up a fourth of our.
There you go.
So what's one more item, real quick?
Here,
Say something.
18 of those mission patches that were that went to employees. That went for $425.
That's a good buy.
That's a
Only
Wow.
one bid on
Should
that.
have bought
yeah.
all them and sold them one at a time.
There you go. Maybe we can,
Yeah,
we can
20 years from now.
start jumping on these.
Let's take a break. You know,
Hello, I'm Pickin' Rick T from CFC, best place to get you used auto parts and all types of metals to repurpose for your needs. Just take a drive down 55, see this handsome guy, stop on by. Check out our computer for hundreds of autos to locate the make and the model of the part you need. $2 fee is all you pay. Sign in and get a hand stamp, it's good for all day. Bring in your tools, get the parts you need pulled, and use a wheelbarrow to lighten the load. Pay for your parts, prices you'll be fond of. Each part's price the same, Chevy or Honda. Get exchange warranty for 30 days too. Swap out the parts you don't need for the parts that you do. Happy picking!
My name's John Hirschman. I'm one of the original 6 owners of P&H Rentals. Started the company 30 years ago when we saw a need for individual, construction, industrial, and commercial storage. We have trailers and containers for lease and sell, Our physical location is 2947 Old Manchester Highway, Tullahoma, Tennessee. My phone number is area code 931-273-4252.
The Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester has been voted as having the best hamburgers in Manchester. Hometown atmosphere, historical memorabilia, and of course those great burgers, salads, chicken, and so much more. It's the Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester. Call in orders at 728-4452. You can also order at the convenient outdoor curb service. Hamburgers are made the old-fashioned way at the Jiffy Burger, Manchester's finest hamburgers. Open 7:30 until 9, Monday through Saturday.
We would like to thank Dr. David Florence for supporting Let's Talk Antiques. See Dr. Florence at 804 Kalon Street in Manchester for all of your medical needs. Call 728-5522 for your appointment today. Most insurances accepted.
Hey everybody, we're back with Talking Antiques, and the number here is 728-1320.
All right, Max, you might as well come on up now. You know you rang my phone there a minute ago.
Is it signature on
You could have
something?
held the phone to the microphone.
Yeah, I should have, and let him talk, yeah.
Yeah.
On the
Well,
car.
anyway, Max, we're looking for you. Come on up.
Yeah, well, he called for you, didn't he?
Yeah.
I'm sure he
Here we
did.
go. All right, so when we were at the break, we were talking about the Boring Company, which is Elon Musk's one of his other companies that's boring the tunnel for the Hyperloop, which is a high-speed rail to go between, is it San Francisco and LA to start with?
That's an idea that Elon kicked out there. It's you're running these vehicles through tubes.
Right.
You know, that don't have any resistance in them.
Yeah.
Well, like you do at a
Vacuum
bank.
tubes. Yeah,
Like when you do the deposit.
Exactly. And so he threw it out there.
So
and
you
let
just
other
park your
companies
vehicle
develop
like
that
on
idea.
some kind of a carrier type thing, and it just runs it through there.
It'll work kind of like a subway system when it's built. You see these futuristic cars. I mean, in these movies.
Yeah,
where you got-
overhead stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering though, since you got the tube, do you just pull your car into the tube?
No. It's going to be vehicles that are made to run in the tube.
Oh, it's the vehicles.
Yeah, they're designed to run.
Oh,
in
so
the
it's
tube.
just like a subway, except it's
Like a
supersonic.
Run about 600-700 mile an hour.
Okay, so to raise money for his company there, he does things like sells hats, like the Boring Company hat, which you can now get for $300 on eBay. Mm-hmm. That'd been a nice one.
Or
to
a
pick up.
T-shirt there.
Or a T-shirt for $305. Well, that one's autographed though.
Mm-hmm.
But another thing is he sold 20,000 flamethrowers. And everybody, he wasn't sure if it was real or not, but I don't think it doesn't shoot like 30 feet or anything crazy like that. But it does really shoot flame out of it. And you can buy one on eBay for $1,000. We can play with one.
Do
of
the
those
math on that
sometimes.
times 20,000.
Yeah, there you go. All right.
Well,
So-
I mean, there's other things. There's another hat.
There's plenty of hats going for $250, $270, 45 bids for the one that went for $270.
Mm-hmm.
And
What
buy
about
it
that
now, so
autographed car? Didn't I see one somewhere?
at the top here's an Elon Musk Tesla signed autograph Tesla Roadster diecast car.
PSA graded.
There you go, with certificate of occupancy.
What did it bring?
They
He's
were
asking 5,000, but
yeah, and the next thing with a real price of sold was $1,000. So
Those
it got
roadsters
over
are some star
$1,000.
vehicles.
Yeah, I saw one in Tullahoma about 4 or 5 years ago, right before the celebration,
Wow.
and it was heading toward the celebration grounds, and I was like, I figured that was somebody who
Going
drove.
to it.
what
drove
is
in
the
to see
range
that.
on one of those?
Well, originally I think it was about 250 for the Roadster, but now they've
They got it over 300.
They've
I believe.
updated the battery pack, and I think it's 500.
He's building his
I
own
think
batteries
there's
now.
like you can
Well, good
update the
leap.
battery now to 500.
That almost puts you anywhere you want to go in a day's drive.
They got a tractor and trailer they built now, and like Pepsi's buying them,
Mm-hmm.
Walmart's buying some, UPS.
Electric?
Yeah.
Electric. They're putting charging stations in their warehouses and stuff.
Mm-hmm. They're supposed to have a 300 and a 500 mile range version of that. And, you know, most of unless you're doing long haul trucking, you don't need more than 500 miles range. And the amount, they estimated that if Pepsi replaced this portion, they bought like 200 of them, I think. Mm-hmm. And they said that they estimate they'll save $8 million on fuel costs.
Isn't that amazing?
I mean, it's
well, guess what, though? If you get a lot more electric cars out there, something's going to... Yeah, but also, though, you're going to run into the problem about the road maintenance and stuff. Because that's how, you know, it's done by the fuel tax.
At some point they're going
to have to do something. They'll have to figure out something.
Put a tax on per kilowatt tax or something like that.
Politicians will figure it out.
Yeah, they will.
That'd be the way to go.
I figure you just keep raising the gas tax to encourage everybody to switch to electric.
Yeah, that could be true. But, you know, the oil companies, you do know the oil companies are not going to like that, right?
Probably not.
The price of electricity is going to triple, too.
If I was given the opportunity, that's what I'd be driving.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And my house would be solar.
But, you know, when you talk about a car that'll do 500 miles, we're getting a little bit off center here, but that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a roadster, so you don't really want. I mean, it's a little sports car. Mm-hmm. It's not like a big sedan, comfortable sedan. So 500 miles is plenty to ride in the seat of a little sports car.
Do you know what the charging time is on something like that?
It's probably a pretty good bit for that.
They were estimating about 30 minutes for those semis.
30 minutes for the semi?
Oh, yeah, they've got a new spec. Okay, here's the... I knew that they had updated the...
620 miles?
620 miles is what you can do with a Roadster now. But that's... You take them back and have them replace the batteries with the new ones. And also it gives you a top speed of 250 miles an hour. 0 to 60 in less than 2 seconds.
Hey, so what? You know, just staying in line with what we do. Why don't we go to eBay and see what one of those cars is bringing? You know, they've sold some on eBay.
I'm sure they have.
Let's just figure out what these cars are brought. You know, we got a 200-year-old birthday we need to talk about too sometime.
True.
There you are.
Here's a 2010 Tesla Roadster that.
Is that the one with the pipe sticking out the side and all that?
Right there, Ray.
No.
Right there.
It's that one went for. Well, they were asking $44,000, and they took a best offer.
So it's in the 40 range, isn't it? 39.
Yeah. Well, the one there's only one other sold on here was a 2008 Roadster, and it went for $38,000.
What are they costing you?
They don't sell. The Roadster was the first car that Tesla made, and they don't currently make any.
Do you know what it brought though when they first sold?
I can't remember. I don't know.
I saw one of the new
I think they were about 100,000.
That had been wrecked. It was just a couple weeks old, and the front end of it was crushed, and it wasn't running, but the screen would still come on, the information screen. They were going to auction it off. I was going to look back.
You found some sedans, didn't you?
Here's the Model S, a 2016 Tesla Model X. This is the X. It's a crossover.
So it's got the doors, gold wing doors.
Gold wing doors, yeah. This is the Founders Edition Special Red with only 78 miles on it. It still has plastic covering. Garage kept, $128,000. And these are sold listings. Yeah. Here's a 2017 Model S. Tan and wood trim interior. That one went for $125,000. Here's another 2016 Model S that was pre-owned that went for $107,000. Another Model X for $105,000. So they're.
Well, you have to order those things and wait forever.
You do have to wait.
I wonder what the production is. I wonder how many he cranks out a week.
I don't know.
Where's the dealers at? Do you buy direct from him?
You go to the website and order, which the dealerships across America are fighting them because Ford, if you can't go to Ford's website and order one, you have to go to a local dealer in order to do it. So the dealers don't want to be cut out of
there aren't that many
doing that. So lots of states are fighting them, but they're slowly winning every state. I think you can order them in about 36 or 30.
Well, I tell you what, they should let them.
Yeah, and but there's one in Nashville where you can go see them and get in them and test drive them and things like that. And
see what the cheapest one there.
I mean,
that's the highest that way.
Yeah, let me.
He's gonna run it.
Oh, you're gonna do it lowest price. You might not end up with a car though.
Parts.
Yeah.
No, it's just let me go for an actual list for a car. It's Tesla S is the main. There you go.
There's one wrecked, like Ronnie was talking about.
Yeah, there's one with
the front end.
A front end hit that they were asking $35,000 and took a best offer. Here's a 15. That one's wrecked too.
Same one.
Oh, that's the same one. Yeah. Here's a 2016 that doesn't look beat up. That they were asking $48,000, took a best offer. Here's a 2013. 22 bids for $32,100. So that's the cheapest. Looks like it's running one. Going as it's $32,000 for 2013.
The thing about buying them is when it comes time for another battery.
Yeah.
Of course, now they're getting a lot cheaper than they were.
Yeah.
So when you get ready to put batteries, you have to take it back to them.
Oh yeah.
I wonder what a battery package is.
I couldn't tell you.
Well, don't they? But those batteries last a long time, don't
Yeah,
they?
This was
that's
actually
a big part of the cost of the car.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's half the price of an electric car is the batteries usually.
Well, you had one.
Yeah, and it was usually the car companies take a loss on replacing the battery to
keep the car out there.
To keep the car out there. But Nissan wasn't willing to take a big enough loss for me to stay with it. But I don't know what it costs to replace a Tesla battery, but they're coming down constantly, and they want to keep you in the car.
Well, he built a new factory just to make the batteries in.
Yeah, they've got it. They're making their own batteries now. It's covered with solar panels and stuff. So they're trying to be as self-sufficient as they can. And
yeah, we got a couple more minutes, so let's just stay on this, and then we'll get back with the 200-year birthday. So, do you reckon there would be a battery package on there?
Maybe we'll try.
Yeah, let's just see.
Yeah, I've seen them on shows where they're pulling out the old battery packs that have been wrecked. Mm-hmm. Let me battery pack.
There you go.
There you go. Here's a 85 kilowatt, which is the really big one, battery pack, sold for $1,150.
That's not much.
That's not bad at all.
So how many of them does it take, though?
Well, it's an 85 kilowatt pack. So
but I mean, is that the whole thing? Okay,
I believe so.
So let's see what it says about it. We've got about a minute.
Yeah,
Brian. Okay.
So this is a 2013 85 kilowatt Tesla Model S battery pack, perfect for home battery storage or an EV conversion. This module has one cell that's been damaged. Mm-hmm. The module is still holding storage voltage at 23.4 volts. Consists of 444 Panasonic 18650 cells. That's the Panasonic made these cells, and they package them all together in the pack. It gives a little bit of details about the voltage and stuff. Shift with the screws. So these are from where they've been totaled.
The yard has salvaged them.
Salvaging the batteries.
So with one bad spot on it, could you still run it in the car?
Yes, you could. And you got to know what you're doing with something like this.
It wouldn't run as long,
and these are.
You wouldn't be able to run everything.
Yeah, but if only 443 out of 444. I mean, you could.
That's pretty good.
It seems like you could replace that one, too. Trying. This is another guy from the same thing.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're gonna have to take a break, though. Okay. Brian's waving his hands. He's clapping them. You know, he's doing the whole thing, saying,
jumping
he's saying, let's take a break. We got to sell some advertisement, Brian.
Hello, I'm Pickin' Rick T from CFC, best place to get you used auto parts and all types of metals to repurpose for your needs. Just take a drive down 55, see this handsome guy, stop on by. Check out our computer for hundreds of autos to locate the make and the model of the part you need. $2 fee is all you pay. Sign in and get a hand stamp, it's good for all day. Bring in your tools, get the parts you need pulled, and use a wheelbarrow to lighten the load. Pay for your parts, prices you'll be fond of. Each part's price the same, Chevy or Honda. Get exchange warranty for 30 days too. Swap out the parts you don't need for the parts that you do. Happy picking.
My name's John Hirschman. I'm one of the original 6 owners of P&H Rentals. Started the company 30 years ago when we saw a need for individual, construction, industrial, and commercial storage. We have trailers and containers for lease and sell. Our physical location is 2947 Old Manchester Highway, Tullahoma, Tennessee. My phone number is area code 931-273-4252.
The Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester has been voted as having the best hamburgers in Manchester. Hometown atmosphere, historical memorabilia, and of course those great burgers, salads, chicken, and so much more. It's the Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester. Call in orders at 728-4452. You can also order at the convenient outdoor curb service. Hamburgers are made the old-fashioned way at the Jiffy Burger, Manchester's finest hamburgers. Open 7:30 until 9, Monday through Saturday.
We would like to thank Dr. David Florence for supporting Let's Talk Antiques. See Dr. Florence at 804 Kalon Street in Manchester for all of your medical needs. Call 728-5522 for your appointment today. Most insurances accepted.
Hey everybody, we're back with Talking Antiques, and the number here is 728-1320.
All right, we're back, and I had Max live on the other end of my phone there for a few minutes. I should have just put the mic up to the phone. He's done all that live for us.
Yeah, but do you think he can remember what he said?
Probably not.
Okay. Okay, so the 200th year birthday we're going to talk about.
Yeah. Over to our actual subject today.
Yeah. But I'm glad we talked about the other stuff.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, Lord.
Okay, so we're talking about Frankenstein. The lady that wrote there was 3 books.
Shelley.
Mary Shelley.
Yeah. There was 3 books, and she wrote the complete set. Brings a lot of money, but the first book is really the one that brings a lot of money.
I could imagine. Yeah.
Anyway, so when she wrote this, I mean, she was way ahead of the game as far as, think about it, building a human being
Come up to her
and let
baby in a
electricity,
dream.
give it life again. You know that won't work, right?
The early 1800s.
You know that would just burn the body up, right? If you.
Well,
It has every time I've tried it.
Okay.
That's where they were, putting power to the frog's legs and watching them jump.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
That's where they come up with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's back when they were doing that type of experiment.
Huh. Okay, so give us a little bit of background about.
Okay. Let's see. This is a feature story in this week's Antique Week.
Right on the front.
When first introduced to the world in a book published 200 years ago, he was nameless, and the physical description of him was somewhat sketchy. Described as a being which had the shape of a man, but apparently of a gigantic stature, he was spotted in a horse-drawn sled. Over time, he's morphed into the iconic figure that everybody knows, a zombie-like monster with a flat head, his face studded with stitches, bolts sticking out of his neck, and he has a name which happens to be that of the person who created him. Although the story of Frankenstein, or the modern Prometheus, is fantastic, so is the story of how this novel came to be written and by whom. Born in London, England on August 30th, 1797, Mary Godwin, who was the daughter of Mary Wollstonecraft, a feminist writer, she wrote A Vindication of the Rights of Women, who died of complications shortly after giving birth to her namesake. Young Mary's father, William Godwin, was a philosopher and, like his wife, was a progressive thinker. Mary's life was not without drama. Her father's remarriage resulted in the gaining of a disagreeable stepmother. On the other hand, an extended visit with relatives in Scotland showed her the joys of familial harmony. Upon returning to her father's home in 1814, the young girl met and fell in love with Percy Shelley. Trouble was, Shelley was married at the time.
Oh, no.
Nevertheless, the couple embarked on a romance.
So all this stuff is not new.
Not yeah.
They carried on like that years ago. Huh?
Yeah.
They've always done it.
Oh.
Keep going, Philip.
Nevertheless, the couple embarked on a romance, living abroad and then returning home to England, where they lived in secret. A lifestyle well suited to the spirit of the Romanticism. As Mary remembered it, she decided to speak to the mysterious fears of her own nature and awaken thrilling horror. Her first draft was a story of but a few pages, and without doubt the best of the lot written by the four. She dealt head-on with topics that struck a nerve, including the power of man to play God. So strong was the tale that she told that upon hearing it, Byron reportedly ran shrieking in horror from the room. Percy encouraged her to flesh out the story, and Frankenstein was published in 1818, with the quotation from John Milton's Paradise Lost on the title page. Did I request thee, Maker, from my clay to mold me man? Did I solicit thee from darkness to promote me? The book, it was an immediate success, and was met by disbelief that a young woman could be capable of writing such a story. Many wrongly attributed its authorship to her husband, Percy. A second edition, with changes made primarily by Godwin, followed in 1823, and in 1831 a third edition was published. This one with an introduction in which Mary made it clear that the work was her own. Not that of Percy, to whom she was then married. The author made some subtle changes to the text to make it a bit more acceptable to readers, according to Butler. In the early 18th century, science and philosophy were closely linked in a way that would not mesh with our ideas of scientific study. But because of the universal themes that run deep, generations of readers, substituting their own concerns, have continued to project the things that they fear into the narrative. There's plenty of empty space in the book that we can fill in with our imagination. It's so internal. Continuing, Butler said that Mary's genius is evident in the book's deftly woven narrative voices. There are so many layers of the onion. Further, the pace of the story begins slow. The tale does not begin in the laboratory, and the beginning of the book is not scary. But the tension builds as Frankenstein comes to realize the havoc he has wreaked. Undercurrent themes include rejection, isolationism, the dangers of hubris, and man's inhumanity to man. Ultimately, the experience of reading and rereading Frankenstein is this. Knowledge is knowing that Frankenstein is not the monster. Wisdom is knowing that Frankenstein is the monster. The range of possibilities is great. Although a 3-volume first edition of Frankenstein 1818 rarely comes on the market, when it does, it could fetch $150,000. And it represents the holy grail of the best. Second on a dream list would be a copy of the third edition published in 1831, which includes the author's introduction, making it particularly desirable, though is the fact that this was the first edition to include an illustrated piece on which a muscular man with flowing hair is depicted. Not like Boris Karloff, Johnson pointed out. A price of $30,000 to $40,000 would not be unrealistic. But for collectors with more modest means, there are other options. Johnson, who is also participating in the Frankenstein panel at the book fair, suggested an edition illustrated by Barry Mosier would be a good place to start, and a signed copy might cost $125, but unsigned it would be $40 in the $50 range. So there you go.
Well, you know, she was only 19 when she wrote the story.
Oh, no, I didn't realize
And
that.
I'll tell you something else about her that's interesting. She was only 54 when she passed away. Yeah, she got a lot of stuff done, though. I guess that is most...
early 1800s, so...
You know, that's probably one of the... When you talk about Frankenstein, that's the most iconic monster.
Lord, yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
I mean, I think that probably I know it boosted Universal Studios.
Oh,
I was going to say, you know, he was talking about the man making it his own.
Mm-hmm.
Hollywood certainly did.
Mm-hmm.
They had Bride of Frankenstein.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, she had 3 books, and so that was one of them. But then I think you're right though, Ronnie, because there's several. Oh yeah, Abbott Costello meets Frankenstein. So after her first 3 books, you're right. The studios, they come up with all kind of stuff like the Abbott and Costello, and yeah, Frankenstein meets the Wolfman. I know she didn't think of that one.
I found a copy from the 1800s. I don't think it's the first edition.
Mm-hmm.
It's part of a live auction event. Brought $4,000.
Now, wasn't the Munster family, the Adams family or something?
No, the Munster family.
Herman was.
Herman Munster.
I remember when little old Marty Stewart, when he was young, he kind of looked like that little boy. And he's going out in the crowd telling everybody he was Eddie Munster.
Oh, I'll be down.
Lester got all over him.
So, if you just put in Frankenstein, Philip, on eBay,
yes,
you're going to end up with a lot of stuff. Ronnie, is that what you did?
Just a couple
Yeah,
things.
and I also got Mary Shelley in general.
Yeah.
But I have a vintage 1960s Marx Frankenstein. It had the original box. It was a battery op. Brought $2,247. Had a Sideshow Toys Premium quarter scale, the Mummy figure. Karloff, it's just Karloff, brought $1,484. I have a vintage Frankenstein Mighty Monster Bank, $636.
Wow.
Another Frankenstein battery operated robot, $617. Here's another Sideshow Premium. This one don't have a box, $625. Here's a 63 Marx Frankenstein Toy Monster, $599.
And that's missing the remote.
Yeah. I got a 60s Frankenstein Monster. Doesn't say, it says Nip Nip Universal.
That's a new pack. Maybe.
Yeah, Nick Nip. $568. And here's a vintage MC Monster Formex. This is a casting set.
Oh, that's cool. You can cast your own monster set.
Yeah. I don't think I remember those.
I bet that didn't work very well.
$535.
Hello, I'm Pick and Rick T from CFC, best place to get you used auto parts and all types of metals to repurpose for your needs. Just take a drive down 55, see this handsome guy, stop on by. Check out our computer for hundreds of autos to locate the make and the model of the part you need. $2 fee is all you pay. Sign in and get a hand stamp, it's good for all day. Bring in your tools, get the parts you need pulled, and use a wheelbarrow to lighten the load. Pay for your parts, prices you'll be fond of. Each part's price the same, Chevy or Honda. Get exchange warranty for 30 days too. Swap out the parts you don't need for the parts that you do. Happy picking.
My name's John Hirschman. I'm one of the original 6 owners of P&H Rentals. Started the company 30 years ago when we saw a need for individual, construction, industrial, and commercial storage. We have trailers and containers for lease and sell. Our physical location is 2947 Old Manchester Highway, Tullahoma, Tennessee. My phone number is area code 931-273-4252.
The Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester has been voted as having the best hamburgers in Manchester. Hometown atmosphere, historical memorabilia, and of course those great burgers, salads, chicken, and so much more. It's the Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester. Call in orders at 728-4452. You can also order at the convenient outdoor curb service. Hamburgers are made the old-fashioned way at the Jiffy Burger, Manchester's finest hamburgers. Open 7:30 until 9, Monday through Saturday.
We would like to thank Dr. David Florence for supporting Let's Talk Antiques. See Dr. Florence at 804 Kalon Street in Manchester for all of your medical needs. Call 728-5522 for your appointment today. Most insurances accepted.